Hey everyone, John's Hands here, and over the years I've accumulated a few Japanese N64 games like Sin and Punishment, the original Pokemon Stadium before we got it in the West, a few others, Puyo Puyo Sun, this fishing game by Itoi, the creator of Earthbound, and Animal Forest, the very first Animal Crossing before even the GameCube game. But how do we play these? Well, let's first explain how the N64 stops you from playing these. This is a European console. You can tell because at the very bottom it says EUR right there on the sticker. I have two N64s. I have this European one and an American one. But that's actually going to show us absolutely everything with just these two consoles. So if I were to spread its flaps, always ask for consent when you do that, you can see right there, if I bring this a bit closer, there's a little bit of plastic right next to the cartridge slot. Whereas on the American version, let's put that over there for a second, if I spread this one's flaps, the plastic isn't there. It's actually right on the side over here. So if I take Duke Nukem 64, European version, and try and put it in this American console, it simply will not fit. It just won't work because the bits of plastic do not line up. But let me let you in on a little secret, okay? European Duke Nukem. Let's go for Itoi's fishing game. Put them side by side. There is actually no difference other than Duke Nukem being dirtier. The actual plastic meshes are the same. But if I were to take, let's get rid of Duke Nukem a second and get Excitebike 64, American, they are not the same anymore. These will not work. So you actually can fit Japanese games into European consoles. So let's take this European console, take Itoi's fishing game. It fits in perfectly. However, it will not boot because the European N64 is limited to 50 Hz. There is one way around this, but the more ideal method is only for NTSC consoles. So one thing you can do if you have a European console is get a passport. The way this works is you take a game with no battery inside, like Duke Nukem, this only saves onto the memory card. You put this here, and you take your Japanese game and put it on the top, or your American game, doesn't matter what region. The only thing that matters is that the original region cartridge is on the bottom, and the one you want to play is on the top. And that way the console thinks it's booting this game, but it gets tricked into booting this game instead. That's one thing you can do. But I want to show you a method that requires no extra cartridges, no extra hardware, and it's very, very easy to do. Anyone can do this. So let's take Paper Mario. This is an American copy, and we're then going to go for Animal Forest, Japanese copy. Remember, these are not compatible. They are in very different places. They simply will not fit into the console. However, if we were to take this little Game Bit screwdriver, which is the same one that's used for Game Boy cartridges, and we go onto the back and simply take out these screws, and this is going to be such an easy little procedure, okay? We're going to screw these out, yep, and then we just take the hinges off there, and there we go. The actual ROM itself is protected under these screws, but we don't need to worry about that. The only thing we needed off was the back. We can leave the label and the cartridge entirely intact, but then we're also going to unscrew Paper Mario. Here we go, take Paper Mario out too, and all of a sudden we've got Paper Mario here and Animal Forest here, both without their backs. So let's get back to the backs a second. We've got two here. We've got Paper Mario's one, which we can tell because it's in English, there's Game Pack there. And then Animal Crossing's one, which we can tell because it's in Japanese and says cassette. So we're actually going to take the Paper Mario back and just put it onto Animal Crossing. I'm going to show you just how easy it is. Because while the back of it is different, the front of it is the exact same in every single region. So you can just hook that on. And all of a sudden, Animal Forest has an American cartridge back. So we can just put the screws back in and try putting it in the console. There we go. We don't need to tighten these too much, just as long as the two bits of plastic are together. That's perfectly fine. And we'll do the exact same thing on this side as well. This is good. So that seems sturdy and secure. And if I take, Puyo Puyo Sun and put these back to back now, you can see Animal Forest has a very different casing now, even though all we've done is replace the back. So as long as you have a American game and a Japanese game, you can simply swap them around. And this will be fully compatible with an American N64. Again, this won't work with PAL consoles simply because there's a 50 Hz, 60 Hz difference. And even when you do use something like a Passport, it gets a bit funky. It actually goes to 61 Hz. So if I try recording PAL gameplay of a Japanese N64 game with my camera, it won't quite fit the refresh rate. I've got to use a specialized camera app on my phone instead to knock it to 61 Hz to get rid of any strobing. But anyway, here's the moment of truth. Let's try putting Animal Forest into the American N64. And... Perfect. Perfect. So let's play this dang thing. It worky. So this is Animal Forest, the very first Animal Crossing. And I bought this cartridge from a Japanese seller many, many years ago. We're playing this on a real N64, an American one, just by changing the back like we showed you. And what's really cool about this is I've not deleted their save file, and I never will, because I think it's really cool to just experiment and experience what they did on their towns. So they got 4 different characters. I can go with the first one. And I don't know if they belonged to different people in their family, or they're just using more houses for storage, or what. But they've made some pretty robust things out there. So let's jump into their town and see. So this is what they made in the 2000s. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Apparently I didn't save last time. This can be a problem, because sometimes they ask you to, spell out. I will remember to save my game, and I can't spell things in Japanese. They can show me all the characters, I still won't know what they are. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to be able to type this. All right, let's reset and see if he's nicer to me next time. Come on, Rossetti, I didn't mean to not save. Be a nice little mole, please. Don't make me type in a language I don't speak. All right, we're good. Whew. The first time that happened, I thought I just soft-locked the entire game because I am not a Japanese man. And even when you show me the Japanese characters to spell, I cannot find them. So it's like, oh no, I've doomed this cartridge forever. But thankfully, if you just reset again, he doesn't make you do it. So that's good. But here is the first house, which is full of cockroaches. But you can see they've got a bunch of gyroids over here. There's a Famicom over here, which is really cool. I think this is Donkey Kong. And we'll give that a go in just a second, but I want to show you a bit more of their house. So I just think it's super rad to see what they've accumulated. And we'll explore the other houses in a second, but let's play some Donkey Kong. Got to hold L, R, and Z to exit. It's cool, just playing NES games on an N64. This wasn't done much. This is emulating 2 generations prior. Back when emulation was still kind of in its, formative days. But this runs great. There are fewer Famicom games compared to what the GameCube one has as NES games. A lot of them are Nintendo arcade games. So you got Clue Clue Land, we've got Golf. We haven't got stuff like Zelda. We're not going really into the adventure areas, but just the smaller pick-up and play games. But it's cool that they have a few of them. Anyway, that's Donkey Kong. I want to show you, I don't want to show you Donkey Kong, I want to show you Animal Forest. So let's go straight to the next house. God, this full of cockroaches. House number 2. And in this one, they have a lot of festive themed stuff. We've got a pumpkin from Halloween. We've got 2 Christmas trees, a small one and a big one. I think this is pretty rad. So this one isn't as stuffed as the prior one, but just kind of a glimpse of what they've done through the seasons, which is cool. Let's try the third one. And this again, this is a bit more festive. We've got another pumpkin, a few more gyroids, but this one isn't very packed. But then the final house, this one's got some stuff going on. So let's go over here. And this one has actually got another Famicom tucked over there. Can't quite see what game it is. But they've got a few more gyroids. They've got record player. They've got lots of cool stuff. And I think this one here is Clue Clue Land, if I remember correct. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's for sure Clue Clue Land. What's funny too is because you're an N64 controller, you've got to change prong. Middle prong to walk around with the stick, then you've got to go to the D-pad. Yeah, this is Clue Clue Land. I won't play too much Clue Clue Land, don't you worry. Anyway, back to Animal Forest. The very first Animal Forest didn't have things like the museum, it didn't have Blathers' cafe. And what I find really funny is because you have to like send off your fossils to be examined in the post office, the person who owned this island just kind of stuffed all the fossils down an area. I assume it's to send them in bulk or just because they wanted a place to store them. I don't know exactly. I think that finding your way around an island that isn't yours feels a little bit like you're invading privacy. I'm trying to remember exactly how you get around. It's also cool just to play the original Animal Crossing and see just how similar it was to the GameCube game. There really aren't that many differences. We've got some money over here. How much we got here? 100 bells, 100 bells, 100 bells, 100 bells. Lots of 100 bells over there. What's in our pockets as well? Got a few fossils. Got a bunch of bells. What's this top? Oh. Alright, so let's go to the beach, which is just all the way down here. Here you go. So many fossils. This is just a whole screen of fossils. And some cherries. I think these are the most notable parts of the island. Just seeing what they did with their houses. The collection of Famicom games. It's really nice just to have this like moment of somebody else's life accessible to you. I don't know how long they played this for. But you know, I like all the villages they have. I like the Famicom games. I like what they've done with their island. It's cool seeing how they dealt with fossils and everything. I just think this is rad. And whenever there's like a save file on a life sim game, I always struggle to delete them. So, like you want to start your own game, but you also want to you want to get rid of somebody's life and memories, you know? Anyway, that is how you play Japanese N64 games on an American N64. And also a Power One if you're using a passport and want to deal with it being 1 hertz faster, which isn't that noticeable, but it definitely does affect music pitch. But yeah, this is Animal Forest, the very first Animal Crossing. And a cool little peek into somebody else's life. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. And we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Nintendo